What's up? Welcome back to What's the Vermin. It's your boy, Dr. J.
Mr. Wash.
This is our weekly conversation over mental health and all of that. But we are down one today.
Yeah, actually, Ray's on vacation, I say.
Yeah, we'll call it. Yeah, she's on vacation. She just ain't here yet.
Yeah, she ain't here.
Her Thanksgiving ran a little long, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna jump right into it, man. Basically, how was your holiday, man?
Nah, my holiday was cool. Like I say, just spent time with the fam, went out to Splendora. Outside
Splendora.
It's outside New Caney, I-59.
Oh, okay.
Past Kingwood.
Okay.
Yeah, my aunt and them have some land out there or whatever. So yeah, so everybody went out there, you know what I'm saying, for holidays. And it was pretty cool. And shit, went back to work.
Yeah, no, we did pretty much the same thing. I was actually in Houston the whole holiday because my people came down. They ended up staying from like Wednesday till Sunday. So I had people in my house. The worst part was, I mean, I don't be tripping because I'm hospitable.
Yeah.
But like, nigga, at one point I was like, damn, I can't ever sleep in my bed. It was like, man.
People everywhere.
Like, yeah, because my mom and them was there. So I always get my mom and them in my bed. And so I'd be sleeping on the couch. But I didn't think they was there for like a damn week. So I was like, man, I can't go back to my bed. I can't go to sleep.
But I was like, who's in your guest room? But your brother stayed there.
Yeah, he stayed there.
Yeah, so.
He stayed in the guest room or whatever. And he had his son there. So him and his son were in there or whatever. So I was like, man, I had to sleep on the couch for a whole 5 days. She was not cool. I mean, actually, my couch was kind of comfortable though. Like, I got some good sleep on there. But I was drunk a few of them times. Cause what did I do that week? Why was I so drunk? Oh, I think what was it, like Wednesday I went out somewhere. Oh, I went out, just period. I went out and we had gone to like the flat, and they had like a little reggae night, and like it was straight or whatever. Just drinking a whole bunch. So I ended up coming home and just passing out on that couch. And then of course Thursday was Thanksgiving. We stayed in my auntie house till like 2 in the morning. So like shit, by the time I got home I was tired anyway, so I just passed out on the couch.
Yeah.
I didn't even drink Thanksgiving, which was crazy for me, because I like to keep alcohol on me.
It was a holiday.
Yeah, and I was like,
turn up.
My cousin came in and he was like, man, he said, man, I know you got something on you. I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you, dog.
Yeah.
I ain't got shit. This is the first time ever I ain't got something in my trunk or something. I was like, damn, I felt sober in the hole all night. I was like, this shit's whack. So then like Friday, same shit. Like I actually picked up a bottle before Friday, but then like we got to my auntie house, we ended up staying over there all night again. So I was like, I don't even feel like getting drunk.
Yeah.
Like this is the most sober Thanksgiving holiday I've had, I think. I was drunk Wednesday night, and I think I was probably drunk Saturday night, but nigga, the rest of the nights I was sober as hell.
Yeah.
Which is trash. But yeah, so I don't know, we just talking about Thanksgiving holidays. That goes right into our main topic for today. We're gonna jump into the check yourself segment. Basically we're gonna go real quick today because it's just we just need to kind of talk about some things that people are deal with during this holiday season, because one of the big things that basically the title would be like surviving the holidays, because one of the biggest things in the holiday season is that depression rates rise.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like I want to say it's like the highest rate of suicide is during this time of year.
Yeah, and I've heard a couple of suicides like recently, like around this time, like people saying they missed certain people and stuff like that.
In fact, yeah, I just saw somebody post something about that on like Facebook or something. They were like, yeah, I hate this time of year because I miss my mama and like that kind of stuff. And I get it, but that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's only part of the issue with the holidays. I think like the reason depression rates rise so much. I don't know why I keep saying drop. Depression rates rise so much during this time is like you got shit like that where people have died, and your holiday seasons when you spend time with your family, and you know what I'm saying. You head to Thanksgiving, like even Thanksgiving holidays. We always do Thanksgiving with my mama, all her sisters, and like her brother, and like all of our cousins. Like we always all come together.
Yeah. So
you can imagine people that like you're used to seeing somebody somewhere every time you go, and then you get there and they're like no longer there. I mean, I guess it's painful. I'm not gonna say I guess it's painful. I know it's painful.
Yeah, because like I say, I think the holidays kind of bring that on to you. Because like you say, you see we live in a social media world, so you see in social media, you see people getting together and they having like all this celebrations and stuff. Like they're having fun and stuff like that, and you can be like, well, maybe like say the person or family member I used to have fun with, but they're not here no more. So that puts you into depression. Or you look at people's families getting together and you be like, my family never been like that, so this is a hard time for me. Because I have to see everybody else's families have the traditional family kind of things, and I never had that. So
right, like you have people that have like celebrations and stuff, and then like you have other people that like my family, we barely eat together on Thanksgiving. So
yeah,
or like and a lot of people get to the holiday season and they get to a point where they kind of try to like they use other people's families to like go to friends' houses for Thanksgiving and things like that, and then like they really see people's families together, and it is kind of hurtful for some people, especially if they haven't dealt with that trauma.
Yeah,
because a lot of people's families aren't getting together for like some big traumatic event, and people don't be dealing with it. Like they don't discuss it. They don't talk about why Aunt Ann don't talk to Aunt May. You know what I'm talking about? They don't talk about why the family beef like that, and why y'all can't get together because they gonna fight every time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's missing. It's the death aspect and grieving loss of life of people that you love. Then it's also like dealing with the fact that like your family don't be. Some families aren't all that great to be around, which kind of leads me to the next part. Because I think one of the other things that you have to survive during the holidays is like some people have like real toxic situations inside their family or inside the people that they get together with, and so like I think that aids in some depression. Because I know some people, like, you get around certain family members, and some people, they'll have, like, their mama or their aunt or their cousins or something, like, they always make fun of them. Like, I know me, personally, I had to learn how to, like, jab back, because I always been fat since I was, like, 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't want to, like, there used to be times when I was younger that I hated being around, a whole bunch of cousins and stuff, because they start clowning. Until I learned to, have some self-esteem and start jabbing back and, be secure enough in myself. Some of those situations were like very toxic to me at a young age.
Yeah.
But some people like they get to an older age and the shit still be just as bad.
Well, I'm saying like you say toxic with the cousins and stuff like that, kind of get into it. But shit, even toxic with the people like you around family and for the holidays, and they tell you like you should be further along in your life and your career, or why you ain't got no family.
My next one.
Yeah. Why you ain't got no family? Why you ain't got no kids yet? And blah blah blah. Where you staying? You stay at your mama's house and all that kind of stuff that's just toxic and just brings somebody down even further. They was already down.
Yeah. So. And I seen like one of my homegirls had a shirt on for Thanksgiving and it said, "Yes, I'm still single and I know I'm not getting any younger." And it's a shirt she wanted to family Thanksgiving. But I mean, people make jokes about that, but I don't think people that say that shit really understand how hurtful that is.
Yeah.
Like I mean, especially, and I'm not saying like just women think about this, but especially for women. Like a lot of people will tell women all the time, "Oh, your eggs ain't gonna last too much longer. If you trying to have kids, you already pushing 35. So and it's fucked up how they kind of treat women that way. But I think that people I don't think they realize how bad that shit is, like how hurtful it is, because they don't ever have to go through it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, and this is kind of still on the same topic, but I was talking to my mama when we were eating Thanksgiving dinner, and they were talking about like we were talking about the kids table, and like, yeah, man, y'all ain't on the kids table no more, blah blah blah. Like, man, I'm 33 years old, dog. Like I ain't nowhere near a kids table.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, you are 33," and I was like, "Yeah, you think about it, I'm 3 years older than you were when you had me.
Yeah.
So like I'm an adult, like I'm an adult.
Yeah. And
it's like you don't really realize it until like you start having those types of conversations, like how old you really are. And like I said, for men, they don't be putting that kind of pressure on men, like, "Oh, you need to hurry up and do blah blah." I mean, we do get some pressure.
Well, you get more pressure if you're a man, if you're a single man with no kids, then you gonna get that pressure.
Oh yeah.
Cause they're gonna be like, "What you waiting on?" And they be like, "Well, who has you really brought around?" And I ain't seen nobody, and blah blah blah.
I'm telling you, cause like me, I ain't bringing nobody. My ex is the only person that has ever been brought around my family for any holiday or anything. Like my whole life for 28 years before that, I never took nobody around my family. She is the only person that's been around my family because like I never felt like anything was serious enough for that. And so their family see that and they be like, "Well, I guess you ain't really trying to do nothing then, huh?"
Yeah. But then you get those mixed messages from family, like you have sad family that'll tell you like, hey, what's going on, man? Like you ain't doing this and that. And then other family like, you ain't talking about it. You be like, nah, I'm just chilling right now, trying to work. Good.
Yeah.
And then handle your business, whatever. Don't rush into no shit.
Them old niggas be telling you not to get married and shit, and then you're like, damn, I guess I'm kind of right for not being married.
Yeah, they say like, hey, don't rush. Hey, don't rush. You nephew, you get your money. Get your money, get your life right.
But I mean, and like I said, I don't think these people like mean to be toxic or mean to be hurtful or whatever, but it does mess with people's like mental. I don't want to say mental capacity, but like just mess with their psyche.
Mess with their emotions.
And their emotions. Yeah, because like you got to sit there and deal with like the thought of, because it actually gives people anxiety before the questions even come. Because you be thinking
going to the person's house, the family member's house, you're already feeling like you're already thinking the worst.
Right.
Like I already know I'm gonna deal with such bullshit. She gonna ask me some stupid shit or blah 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 and stuff like. So you already amped up to go before you even get over there.
And then on top of that, you don't know what kind of shit people are going through. Like I know that they talk about it for like married people, and so it's not just single people, it's like married couples, and they be going up to married couples like, ooh, when y'all gonna have a kid? Like you get around that family, when y'all gonna have a kid? It's about time for y'all to go ahead and have something, blah blah blah. You don't know if they could be at the house like going through fertility problems, and they've been struggling for a year or two trying to have a kid, and you over here, why ain't y'all got no kids yet?
Yeah,
that shit is hurtful.
Not knowing what's going on behind the scenes,
right?
Because ain't none of your damn business in the first place.
And I guess it's kind of like a twofold issue, because for one, people got to realize that they saying hurtful ass shit first of all.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I think that you do have to be kind of mentally prepared to get those kind of questions. Because I mean, although I think it's kind of like any other situation, like you hope that people learn not to do those things, but because people do things like ask stupid questions, you got to be in the right mental space to deal with the family or whoever it is that asks those kind of questions, because I feel like that they coming, which of course, like I said, it gives you some anxiety because they're coming.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of figure out a way to either cope or address the situation before it comes up. Yeah. I mean, you may, and I say that because I don't think many people are gonna be like, I don't think they're gonna be ready to like tell people, hey, yeah, man, I've been struggling with baby issues and blah blah blah. You may not want people out in your business.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about that shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, you just gotta be ready to be like, okay, when they do approach me about it, what am I gonna say?
Yeah. Like,
how am I gonna handle it so I don't get emotional? Because when you get emotional, that's when shit starts happening in the holidays. Niggas start fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like people get real upset.
So like they come back, they come real strong, whatever. You say something smart to somebody else, like, fuck.
Yeah.
I say, where your man at? Where the fuck your man at?
Yeah, now y'all in there boxing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like I said, I feel for people that, I say for people, I'm one of them. I feel for the fact that like when you go into like family situations and they ask you a lot of those kind of questions, it does make you feel some type of way, and it makes you have to kind of think about it. Yeah. Which, like I said, I think adds to that depressive aspect of the holiday, because it makes you think about things like not only dead family members or like, you know, families that get together more than yours does, but it also makes you think about like where you are in life. Mm-hmm. So you sitting there thinking like, I mean, I make like the whole year you feeling fine. Like I'm decent, you know. I go out, have a few drinks, you know what I'm saying. I be chilling, I pay my bills. I might be living check to check, but I'm paying my bills, shit. And like you feeling good, and then you get around holidays, and then like you got questions about, I mean, you still working at such and such? And like, I mean, yeah, I've been there for like 10 years. Like, what you mean? I'm still working.
Am I still there? Like, not good enough for you?
Yeah. Like, nigga, goddamn, I thought I was doing good. All year I've been feeling good about myself. Yeah. Like, I'm paying my bills. I got everything coming in on time. Everything is straight. And then you come with the, damn, you still work there?
You still there? Okay.
Like, damn, I ain't think about it like that, goddamn. Now I feel like I ain't doing it.
Or in that situation, they be coming at you like, oh, you still there? What's up? You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, you like, what the fuck is wrong with that? Right. But then they'll big up somebody else that's doing something that's in the family right there. Like, oh my God, you know, such and such is still, is that working at such and such now? And yeah, they making money and stuff. Like, oh, you just shitting on me, huh?
Right.
That's cool.
Fuck me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit, and like that's what I'm saying. Like that, it messes with people's heads, and I think people like it's something that needs to be addressed when you go into like holiday seasons and stuff like that. Because I think, you know, it's an issue that people have to deal with, but I mean you shouldn't have to deal with it. Like you really should, and it comes from the taboo part of people not wanting to have that conversation, like, hey, you kind of pissing me off, or you are an emotionally draining person, and like so, you want to not have to have that conversation, but I think the conversation has to be had, or else you're gonna be stuck dealing with that person forever, and they never gonna learn to do better. And I know people be like, oh, well, you can't teach no old folks nothing, you can't tell them nothing, but I mean, some old people, like, they just haven't been told shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta tell them. Yeah. You gotta come out and be like, hey, look, you don't know what I'm going through. I really would appreciate it. You don't have to be no asshole about it, but I would really appreciate, you not addressing things that I have to do in my personal life, because I'm really trying to work on those things for myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so those conversations have to be had, but I think that, like I said, that's another aspect that, makes the holidays like a depressing time for people. But also, speaking of Thanksgiving stuff, like, so the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday, right? Yeah. So, first of all, I don't like the fact that Black Friday starts on Thursday, which is fucking stupid to me. Like, Black Friday starts at 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. Like, now we didn't eat till 4:30. Yeah. So, like, we were still eating by the time the Black Friday deal started. Because my auntie had to leave. She's like, oh, I gotta go get this TV. Yeah. And so she left, like, in the middle of the dinner to go get the TV. Yeah. So, that's fine. But anyway, Black Friday is a big deal, too, because people start having to buy things. Not always can afford those things. Yeah. Or they want to buy things and know they can't afford it, so they don't. So you get kind of depressed. Like, that shit, like, you really come, and I know this personally, when I really come to the realization that I'm broke at whatever moment, at that moment that I realize I'm broke, like, that's the worst fucking part of my day. Like, it'll ruin my whole day. Like, damn, I'm broke.
I can't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I want to eat like a meal at such place, whatever, and be like, fuck, I ain't got no money for that right now.
Right, let me go make this ham and cheese sandwich.
Let me make this sandwich right quick. Let's make this quick little meal right quick.
And go home and heat me up some soup or something, dog. I'm trying to think about this Papados I wanted to eat.
Yeah, I wanted to Papados. I can get some shrimp bills. I can get a swamp thing or something. Yeah.
I gotta pour up some E&J and Sierra Mist.
Yeah. I'm going to the corner store and give me a Coke right quick, get stuff and call it a day. Like, fuck.
You gotta buy one of them little single cans of Coke.
Yeah, a little single can of Coke. I can't buy 20 ounces.
And a little personal bottle of E&J for $5. Instead of having you a nice, good 3-wheel motion and some crab legs.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Yeah. Happy holidays, nigga. But I think that's another realization that people have around the holiday season, or even if they don't have they do have a realization, but they realize that they don't have that much money, but they have to do that, especially if they got kids. Mm-hmm. Like, they gotta buy presents. Like, they feel like I gotta get them something. So then that's when you start running up credit card debt. You start trying to find money from different places, or you start working overtime, which burns you out even faster because you're trying to work overtime to make sure you have money to pay for all the shit that you got to buy for your kids. So by the time you get to Christmas and this holiday season, now you tired as fuck. Yeah. So, like, I mean, yes, your kid, you trying to make sure your kids are happy, but now you be burned out. And so burning out is like part of the reason why people go through depression too. Yeah. Like, just sitting around and having to, like, think about, okay, what do I need to do next? So I got to go to work in the morning. I got to go to work at 5. I'm going to try to work at 14. So I'm going to go 5 to 7, give me a couple extra hours in. And then I can come home, I can go to sleep real quick and be back up there at 3 to get that other overtime in. Like, god damn, like, by the time you get done, you got money and you're able to pay for the shit for your kids or for Christmas and all your loved ones and everything. But then, like, you're tired. And you're too tired to enjoy even the holiday season. And so a lot of people be like, I think what people get lost in that cycle is you start to think, damn, I'm gonna do this every fucking year? Like, every year I gotta go through this cycle of work hard, spend, and then go back to work again. Yeah. Like, if you really think, and a lot of times when people are suicidal, one of the issues is that they don't see an end. They see a cycle that they don't want to keep continuing in. Mm-hmm. And so you thinking, okay, I have to do this for the rest of my life, or at least for the next 30 years of my life. That's like being in prison. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You locking yourself into a prison in your mind of having to do the same thing all the time, and that shit will drive you crazy. Yeah. And that's why I think that, like I said, that's another big reason why the suicide rate jumps up, because you get to that point where you really have to start thinking about, what am I spending my time and money on, and is it even worth it? Is it worth being here? And so, I don't know. I think the holiday season is depressing, and I'm just adding more depression into this whole thing. You know what I think about it?
You ain't said nothing joyous, nothing to have the time, appreciate everything. It's just like, fuck, it sucks.
Like, you be sitting here listening to this shit like, God damn, nigga, my night. I ain't doing shit though.
I ain't doing a goddamn thing. You just made me realize myself.
Damn, I gotta do this shit. I got niggas listening to this whole driving to work in the morning like, God damn.
They're gonna drive this off the road right now.
Niggas driving a truck and a slam it.
Nigga drives like, where the guardrail at? Nigga, fuck.
God damn, the ship challenge is all.
Yeah, about the goddamn bridge.
But I mean, I guess the silver lining to all of that is, and I'll jump into the woo side because we got 20 minutes. We said we're gonna be short anyway.
Yeah.
So the woo side is that the pleasant part of all of that is that at the end of the day, like, that's not all that life is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to find your pleasures to know that you're not going through the same cycle. Things can change. Things can be different. You got to find a way to, if you're not making enough money in your job where you have to do overtime all the time and you're not getting the time that you need for yourself to make yourself, mentally stable, you got to take that time to make that, you got to make yourself a priority. So, like, I know that you have loved ones and you got kids and you got to figure out a way to get your kids what they want, but if you're not stable, if your head is not together, then buying shit for them kids ain't gonna help nothing anyway, because they lost you. They lost you, not physically per se, because I'm not saying that you're just gonna commit suicide or anything, or you're gonna leave them, but they don't have you mentally together.
You have to make yourself a priority, because at the end of the day, you don't know if you're making yourself sick.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what kind of harm you're doing to yourself, so you have to make sure that you're right, so you can be right for others.
Right, because if you working hard and you got your kids all the J's, you got them the bread 11s that just came out, you got, you know what I'm saying, you got them a Switch, kid want a Switch, you got a Switch, you got the PS4, you got the iPhone 11 for your teenage daughter, you got all this shit, and they have everything like that, but you burn the fuck out because you don't work so hard to make sure they had all them hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. And now you don't even want to, like, you damn near don't want to deal with them. You're forcing yourself to deal with them because you're so tired. You just want to go to bed and sleep for your whole holiday.
Yeah.
And, like, you've taken yourself away from it.
You never want to be in a situation where, like you say, you're doing all that for your kids, which is commendable.
Yeah.
You're doing all that, you sacrifice all that stuff for them. But when they just want to be around you, you're not mentally available, emotionally available to them because you just want to be left the hell alone, or you done checked out because life can beat you down kind of thing. So,
right. And not even just kids. Like, I mean, it could be
your partner.
Yeah, a relationship. Like, you married or you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever. Like, you got somebody that you deal with on a regular basis. They still need you, like, more than they need gifts.
Yeah.
More than they need any of the other shit that goes along with holiday season. Like, they need you to be mentally together. And I think that the holiday season is a time, instead of reflecting on, all the shit that you need to get done, you need to reflect on if I am being good to myself. Am I doing things that are going to make myself prosperous? Not even just financially, but emotionally and psychologically. Am I pulling myself together in the ways that I need so that I can flourish? Because I think that in the holiday season is probably the best time to do it, because, I mean, people love to do fucking New Year's resolutions anyway.
Yeah.
Your New Year's resolution shouldn't just be to hit the gym 5 days a week. New Year's resolution should be, okay, what am I doing to make sure that I have a mental capacity to deal with my life?
Yeah, like I said, we're going to talk about that on, like, probably the next time we record, like, not New Year's resolutions, but New Year's goals. Mm-hmm. Like, what is your goals for 2020? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck a resolution, like you say, people do that, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do this and that. No, make a goal for yourself to be like, hey, at some point this year, I plan to achieve this. I plan to run a marathon. I plan to get a new job or a new vehicle, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Set them goals for yourself so when you achieve those goals, you have a certain happiness to yourself.
Yeah, and it should be something, unless you're working a job that is your hobby and passion. Like, some people work for themselves and they do a lot of that kind of shit. But if you work in a regular job, that job, you just go to collect a check, then outside of that job, you have to set goals. Yeah. Because, and I tell this to clients all the time, like, one of the things that, especially depression, writing down what your next step is. What is your next goal? Even if it's just, damn, in January, I'm going to fly to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Have me a little, weekend trip out there. Write that shit down. give yourself a goal, give yourself something to look towards. Because what happens when people get depressed is they don't have anything to look forward to. They're saying, I just got to keep going through this same hamster wheel ass life, and ain't shit gonna change. And like I said earlier about working and paying for stuff for your kids and paying for stuff for your people, like you start to get into this wheel of saying that, oh, I'm always gonna be doing the same shit. I'm tired of this shit, and like you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So you got to give yourself something to look forward to. It could be a trip, it could be a concert, it could be just some me time, a staycation where you just I'm at the house to myself next weekend. I'm gonna be ass out in that motherfucker watching Netflix. You know what I'm saying? With some ice cream and a 40.
Yeah.
Nigga, out there.
All the way up, nigga.
I don't give a damn about my stomach next week.
Yeah. Shit, it's fucked up.
Nigga be on the toilet after we
Nigga make a 40 float, nigga. What the fuck?
Nigga, a 40 with some homemade vanilla from Bluebell. Nigga, that 40 be heavy.
Nigga, sick to the
Nigga, stomach be all fucked up. But hey, whatever floats your boat, my nigga, if that's what makes you psychologically sound, do what you gotta do, doc. You know what I'm saying? As long as don't hurt yourself, but do what you have to do and put yourself into a position where I'm always looking forward to something else. When I've reached my one goal, okay, what can I do next? Where can I go next? Who can I talk to about this next? You know what I'm saying? Like, give yourself something to work towards at all times. Even if it don't seem like it ain't being fruitful for shit, it don't have to be. It gives you something to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even like podcasting, like this shit gives me something to do. Like, cause I talk anyway.
It brings up things that you're able to get out what you want to say in your mind, which is a benefit. Right. Because we have so much stored in our head that we want to discuss and talk to.
Yep.
Talk about, so it gives you a platform where to discuss. It's a hobby, whatever, and I'm not saying that can be lucrative, whatever case may be, but it's something else to do than the normal 9 to 5 shit you do every day.
Right. Yeah, because you don't want to waste time, and you don't want to waste your life feeling like you're doing the same thing over and over again. Because that shit is depressing.
Yeah.
And so like that's why I say the holiday season just kind of brings it to fruition. So I think people should use that holiday season to not just reflect on what's not going right, but it's say, okay, well, what do I need to do? Or even if it's something about the holiday season that bothers you, what can I do different next year? If you're sitting at home, and you ain't got nobody to hang out with for Thanksgiving, and you sitting there eating some ramen noodles, and you pissed off going through scrolling Facebook and seeing family pictures, start looking at, okay, well, people are doing Friendsgivings all the time now.
That's a new thing now.
Like it's a big deal. Like I think Friendsgivings have always happened, but like it's really becoming a big trend now.
Yeah.
So if it's just that familial aspect that you're looking for, plan your shit out for next year.
Yeah.
Don't be stuck sitting around talking about, oh, well, their family look so good. I wish my family. No, fuck that. Do what you gotta do to make sure that you are in a position that makes you happy. Don't worry about what's going on everywhere else. And I think, and like we said before, social media is a whole thing that depresses people on top of everything else. But it's just going to be important for people to focus on what is going to make them happy at the end of the day, especially during the holiday season.
Yeah,
you got to be kind of selfish sometimes.
Got to be.
But yeah, no, that's all I have. Just wanted to discuss a little bit about the holidays and. Because we're coming up into Christmas in the next 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all that holiday blitz is really gets people. Because like I said, you got 3 holidays in pretty much a 6 to 7 week span. Yep. You know what I'm saying, with Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
New Year's, yeah.
So
and they hit, and all 3 of them are big. Like they're big holidays.
Yeah, like I say, Thanksgiving where we see people eating with their families and stuff like that. Christmas, you see the gift aspect or whatever, and then New Year's be like, I have nobody to bring in the New Year with to try to start my New Year off right with.
That used to really bother me, like when I was like younger. I mean, because like when I was in my 20s, I would just be like in a lot of situationships. So that like when it came to like New Year's, people be in New Year's with their gal. And be like, oh, you got to kiss at midnight, blah, blah, blah. Like, I ain't never fucked with nobody that I really wanted to do that with.
It didn't bother me because I was always in the club.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I never really fucked with nobody that I really wanted to do that with. I mean, I probably kissed somebody randomly, just because it's midnight and I was in the club. But I never was, like, in a situation where, like, I actually cared about the person I was bringing in the New Year with and all that kind of stuff. Until, recent relationships or whatever. But, like, when I was younger, that shit used to really bother me. Because, like, it wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't bother me at the time. But at some point during that season, I would be like, damn, like, I really am fixing to just be in the club for the New Year instead of having somebody to, actually bring shit in with. I know niggas ain't supposed to be thinking like that, but hey, niggas think like that sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But shit, yeah, no. I think everybody needs to, focus. Use it. If this holiday season ain't the one for you, use the holiday season to think about, okay, well, what do I need to do for the next year? Because you have a whole another year to get ready for the next one.
Pretty much. Like I say, don't stop.
Yeah.
So
time keep going. Man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that's it, man. Like I said, I guess we close it there.
Yeah, real quick episode.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying, hopefully Ashley will be back next week. And then we'll go ahead and, like I say, talk about Christmas coming up and New Year's and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got a whole lot of shit to discuss.
Yeah. So, as always, we hope you laughed a little, learned a lot. We hope we have helped you find the remedy to whatever's troubling you. This is What's the Remedy Podcast.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.